I'm Sophia Wanuna. We want to delve into matters, the letter and the spirit of the Constitution. We've been seeing a lot of those questions, and this side saying, no, that's unconstitutional, it's unlawful. This is the side insisting it is. So we are left to wonder who's telling the truth. Well, there's a body charged with helping us understand all those issues, the Commission for the Implementation of the Constitution. And we have one of the commissioners with us in studio, Kamodo Waiganjo. Good morning, sir.
Morning,
Good
Sophia.
to see you.
Good to see you too.
So there's just been a lot happening, from the referendum to questions of land and to just the Constitution in itself. Let's first hear from you about, what, 4 years on? You're the body charged with looking at how this and overseeing, ensuring everything is going right in terms of it's not being mutilated, the Constitution, the letter and the spirit is maintained. How are we as a country where we are with the Constitution?
It's a tough issue. It's very difficult to do an overall assessment of the Constitution in terms of its successes. I think what one is able to say is that there have been areas where we have been successful. There are areas, I think, where we have significant challenges. But I think we must remember that this is a process of recreating Kenya. It's a process of redefining a country. And I think we have certain naive assumptions about what a constitution can do, what the law can do, what institutions can do. Countries, nations take ages to recreate, to refashion, you know, to recalibrate. It takes long. And I think there's a part of us as a nation that's very impatient, maybe reasonably so. Our expectations of what the Constitution could deliver to us has led to some, you know, some sort of impatience with its inability to deliver in some areas. I think we forget where we are coming from. I think we forget sometimes that 5-6 years ago, as a country, we almost went to war. And I want to say we almost went to war because there's a place we didn't flip over. But we still lost lives. Kenyans were, you know, went into IDP camps and all. What are the issues that brought, because sometimes we see the election of that year as the reason why. We don't realize that this is a build-up of many issues that had not been resolved by our constitutional environment then. Issues of inclusivity, the same issues we are talking about now. We all understood that we had serious problems of inclusivity. So the Constitution sought to address that issue through various things, through devolution, so that we ensure that every Kenyan has access to the national resources. Every Kenyan also is able to elect people who they can relate to at the county level, and that those county governments have a good profile. That inclusivity was important, and if we did not have that inclusivity, we were going to recur. The situation of 2007-2008 was going to recur. We had institutions we did not trust. In 2007, you remember the losing party said they cannot go to court, because they said those judges are appointed by the president. The IEBC commission was appointed by the president. So what did we say? The Constitution said we want a judiciary that is independent of the executive. We want an electoral commission that is independent of the executive. That is why we fashioned the Constitution as it is. We said to ourselves that we have a very bad human rights record. We have abused Kenyans. Our human rights situation has been dismal. So we created an environment, one where we have watchdog institution with a human rights environment. We ensure that the Constitution at least provides for an independent police force that actually requires the retraining of the police force to ensure that it has ethos that respect human rights. Talk about financing. We recognize that in this country, resources have always been divided on the basis of who is in politics. Remember, we used to be told, siasa mbaya, maisha mbaya. Now, again, the Constitution said, how do we ensure that that does not happen? Let us create an institutional framework through which resources in this country are divided. You know, Sophia, we've been doing budgets in this country for 50 years. For the first time, and I don't think we realize that, for the first time, Kenyans have actually been discussing budgets. People think that this is the first time money has been misused. Money has been misused for 50 years. But because it was done quietly, below the radar, nobody actually knew it. What the Constitution did was open up those avenues. Now, if you understand where you're coming from, you then appreciate the small steps that we have made and how important and how foundational they are in recreating a nation. So that is what we need to keep remembering, where we're coming from, and therefore so that we keep our focus on where we are going. If we start to assess the success on the Constitution on the basis of assuming that it will deliver on day one, we will kill it before it has even started to mature.
So what I'm hearing you say